Hello guys, today we have the Core i5 3450. This is one of the newer Ivy Bridge i5s with a 22 nanometer process, and I believe it's a 77 max threshold in the amount of wattage that it uses. So basically those are about the two main, well, there's other features as well, but those are about the two main features that the Ivy Bridge CPUs have over the Sandy bridges. So I'll just say them again. It uses less power, gives off less heat, and it has a smaller nanometer process, so you can fit in more transistors. The other features are the chip also has built-in USB 3.0 support, so there's no need for the chipset on the motherboard to control the USB 3.0. Also, I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong here, but I believe this also supports Lucid Virtue, which is a feature that allows you to, well, it allows the motherboard to detect what programs you're using. So if you're encoding video, it'll switch to the processor's built-in integrated graphics to faster encode the video, and then when you're doing hardcore gaming or any kind of 3D modeling, then it'll switch to your discrete or dedicated graphics processing unit, so you'll have the best of performance depending on the situation. Also, there's other things like VSync and performance increase, but I'm not going to get into that now. So this, I got a really good deal. Let me switch this to macro focus. There we go. It says right here it's $200. I did not pay that, and this chip just came out about a month ago. I only paid about $162 because I got it from Micro Center. But the downside to getting it from Micro Center is that you can't get it online. You have to reserve it online and then go to the store. They'll have the reservation ready for you within 30 minutes. Then you got to go to the store and then pick it up to then get this for $162. Also, you're only limited to one of these per customer. So this is a very good deal. I was going to get this from Newegg since that's my main website, but Newegg had this for the price that you see here for $200, shipped free with 3-day shipping from UPS. So I'm glad that I got this deal. Right now I still cannot operate my desktop at all because it doesn't have a power supply. Pretty much that is all that it needs for it to turn on, but I still don't have the keyboard and mouse. I don't have the optical drive, and I don't have the what else was it? I kind of forgot what else did I need, but pretty much all I have now is the chassis, the motherboard. Now that I have the CPU, I have the hard drive and the cables, set everything up. So I'm getting there. I'm getting the graphics processing unit a little bit after, probably in the next 2 weeks from now. So let's get to the unboxing of this Intel Core chip. I'm getting my scissors here. Alright, box is finally open. Alrighty now. There's not really much to it when it comes to processors. You really just get a heat sinking fan that you see right here. Let's switch to macro. This is pretty much a stock heat sinking fan. For enthusiasts and gamers such as myself, we don't really use these. But I'm going to use it for now until I get more money and buy an aftermarket cooler. But if you want to overclock your CPU and push the CPU to its limits, these are not really recommended for you for use to cooling, because these coolers are really only rated to cool the CPU at its advertised specifications. So we have the thermal paste, as you can see here, already applied on the chip. So all I gotta do is just mount this on top of the chip while it's in the motherboard, and the heat from the chip, when you turn it on, when I finally boot up my computer, it'll melt the thermal paste and better spread it around on the copper to fully conduct the heat from the CPU to the heatsink. As a simple 4-pin header, the extra pin, because usually fans have 3 pins, the extra pin is basically just a fan control, so the motherboard can, I believe, control it via the temperature of the chip. Alright, so let's get to the actual star of the show here, and that is the processor itself. It's put into this very simple plastic, like a snapback packaging. And this is the very, very delicate contact pins on the processor. So the processor is very small, as you can see. Pretty much, we all know that processors weren't that big, but until back then when computers were first being made. But these processors are very small. The Xeon processors, or Intel's like hexa-cores, with 6 cores in each processor. I believe the processor is actually the size of this plastic packaging. So this is a quad core. So the Xeon core, which is pretty much 6 cores, and I think it has hyper-threading, so it's 12 cores with 6 virtual. The processor will actually be the size of this entire plastic thing. So those processors are huge, and my motherboard does not support that. It only supports the LGA 1155 processors. So now the reason why I got a Core i5 is because I did a lot of research, and it came to the conclusion that games really, they don't take advantage of the virtual cores from hyper-threading that the Core i7 has to offer. The Core i7 will be really good for those who use more video encoding, or like 3D modeling, any audio encoding, stuff that has nothing to do with games, because games really, most games take up 2 physical cores, some taking up 4 physical cores. Games don't really, like I said before, take up the virtual cores that Core i7 has to offer. So basically a Core i7 is a quad core CPU with hyper-threading, meaning that instead of having 4 cores where each core is doing 1 thread at a time, it has 4 cores, and the cores have the ability to do 2 threads at a time, where the extra thread is being handled by a virtual core. The Core i3s now are dual core CPUs with hyper-threading enabled. So basically it's 2 physical cores, and they're handling 2 threads at a time, each core making it 4 threads because of 2 extra virtual cores. Now the Core i5s don't have hyper-threading, so it's just 4 physical cores. So you may be thinking the Core i3 is essentially the same as the Core i5 because they both can handle 4 threads at a time, but that's not true. Physical cores are better than virtual cores. So pretty much, I'm not going to open this here because you can clearly see the entire chip through the plastic. I'll be opening this when I'm going to install this, so stay tuned for that video. If you have any questions on my whole PC build, or anything that has to do with the chip, or anything computer related in general, feel free to post. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Thanks for watching this, guys. Later.